More than 1.4 billion Chinese people consume large amounts of pork every year, as pork is a staple in their diet. To meet this huge demand, China must produce and import a large amount of pork every year. So how much pork do processing plants have to produce to meet the people's consumption needs? Let's find out right now. How much pork does China have to produce to feed its 1.4 billion people? On average, China consumes about 55 to 60 million tons of pork per year, which equates to a demand of about 40 to 45 kilograms of pork per person per year. Although China is the largest pork producer globally, producing about 45 to 55 million tons of pork per year, it is not always enough to meet demand, especially when factors such as disease outbreaks or economic conditions affect production. To optimize production and meet demand, China needs to invest right from the start. Farms are adopting smart farming techniques, such as using advanced technology and artificial intelligence to improve efficiency, reduce costs, and improve pig health. These innovations are being applied to large-scale farms to increase productivity while meeting stricter environmental standards. In addition, selective breeding and genetic engineering programs are being pursued to develop healthier, more disease-resistant pigs, which could help China's pork industry recover more quickly. Pork has been an integral part of the Chinese diet for centuries. China's pork industry is one of the most important sectors, providing employment and economic stability to the hundreds of millions of Chinese people who work in livestock farming and meat processing. Pig farms in China produce tens of millions of tons of pork each year. Pork processing facilities are located throughout China. The plants are equipped with state-of-the-art technology to handle every stage of the production process, from slaughter to packaging and distribution. With advanced technology, these plants maximize efficiency while adhering to strict hygiene and food safety standards. The main goals of processing facilities are to increase production capacity, reduce costs, and ensure a stable supply of pork for China's large population. In addition, pork processing plants create significant job opportunities, support local economies, and contribute to the development of a large agricultural infrastructure. Despite a robust domestic pork industry that produces more than half of the world's pork supply, challenges remain. Factors such as disease outbreaks, rising feed costs, and environmental regulations all play a role in shaping the country's pork output. Due to these factors, domestic pork supply has not been able to meet demand. In recent years, China has turned to international markets to ensure enough pork for its people. Countries such as Brazil, Spain, and the United States are major exporters of pork to China. Imports have played an important role in helping China overcome the shortage period. However, the dependence on imports comes with challenges such as fluctuating global pork prices. To address the challenges in production to help the market become more self-sufficient, China is increasingly turning to technology and innovation. Feeding China's more than 1.4 billion people requires a huge amount of pork, around 55 to 60 million tons per year. Although China is the world's largest pork producer, domestic production often falls short of growing demand, leading to a heavy reliance on imports. However, with technological advances, government initiatives, and a focus on sustainability, China is working to maintain its position as a major pork producer while ensuring its food supply for the future. Have you ever enjoyed Wagyu pork? It sounds expensive and luxurious because Wagyu is the name associated with the most delicious and expensive beef in the world. To be compared with Wagyu beef, this type of pork must be very expensive and has an excellent flavor. So, what type of pork is so highly appreciated? Let's explore with us in today's video. Wagyu pork? Can you believe it's better than Wagyu beef? Wagyu pork is a popular name recently given by pork enthusiasts. Wagyu pork is not a specific breed of pig or a type of beef, but rather a representation of the quality of pork, meaning that premium pork is comparable in taste to the most delicious and expensive beef in the world. So what types of pork are called Wagyu pork? To find out, first find out what Wagyu beef is. Wagyu is a very popular breed of cattle in Japan, famous for its extremely high-quality beef. This breed is known for its marbling, which is thin lines of fat in the beef muscle, creating a soft and rich flavor. Meanwhile, Wagyu pork is pork that is intended to replicate the desirable qualities of Wagyu beef, such as marbling, tenderness, and flavor. While not a hybrid between a pig and a cow, Wagyu pork involves selectively breeding and raising pigs to achieve superior marbling and quality. Wagyu pigs are fed a special diet that prioritizes nutritional balance and flavor development to enhance marbling. They are often fed grains and vegetables. In particular, pigs need to be allowed to graze in fields to allow them to exercise and enhance the quality of the meat. Careful husbandry and stress reduction techniques are also used to ensure the pig's health. The result is pork with exceptional marbling, tenderness, and flavor, making for a luxurious dining experience. However, standards and uses of Wagyu pork can vary, so it is important to seek out reputable sources and producers. When it comes to Wagyu pork, we often refer to Karabuta pork because it is a Japanese term. In addition, many people also consider Iberico pork as a type of Wagyu pork. However, this is not a single breed of pig, but in fact there are many high-quality pig breeds that consumers call Wagyu pork. Berkshire pigs, also known as Karabuta, are a heritage breed of pig originating from England. Renowned for their marbled fat and fresh-tasting meat, Berkshire pork is sought after by chefs and food enthusiasts. The fat and the muscle of Berkshire pork contributes to the tenderness, juiciness, and distinctive flavor of the meat. In the world of pork, Berkshire stands out as a true gem, offering great flavor and a host of health benefits that set it apart from other cuts of pork. According to numerous studies, Berkshire pork contains a higher proportion of monounsaturated fats, which are considered heart-healthy fats. These fats can help lower bad cholesterol levels and reduce the risk of heart disease when consumed in moderation. Not only Berkshire pigs, one of the breeds of pigs with high meat quality and delicious taste is Tamworth pork. This breed of pig originated in England. They are relatively large in size, but their meat is very lean and low in fat. Although Tamworth pork can be less fatty than other breeds, it can still show beautiful marbling when raised under special conditions and feeding regimes. Tamworth pork is often praised for its rich flavor and tenderness. Raised extensively in the United States, Duroc pigs are prized for their exceptional meat quality. The breed is known for its marbling, tenderness, and rich flavor. The genetics of this breed make them well suited to producing premium pork that will satisfy even the most discerning palates. Today, Duroc pigs are among the top 10 most widely raised pig breeds in the world, and they also offer many benefits to farmers. When it comes to delicious pork, we cannot help but mention the Mangalica and Iberico pig breeds. They both originate from Europe but are rarely bred widely. Today, they are considered the rarest and most premium pork in the world. Such delicious flavor is all thanks to the farming activities of farmers. Mangalica pigs are also known as the Kobe beef of pork, a premium and more expensive cut than Wagyu. Originating in Hungary, Mangalica pigs, also known as hairy pigs, are recognized for their unique appearance and remarkable meat quality. Mangalica pork is highly marbled and has a thick layer of fat, contributing to its juiciness and rich flavor. This pork is often considered a delicacy among pork enthusiasts. Originating from Spain or Portugal, the Iberico pig, known primarily for producing excellent hams, can also produce excellent pork. This is a purebred pig breed found only in the Spanish lands. The black pigs are free-range and fed a unique diet of acorns. Yes, Iberico pigs eat acorns while grazing, resulting in pork that is uniquely marbled and has a distinctive flavor. Iberico pork is prized for its richness and complexity. Today, Iberico pigs are also considered the most premium pork in the world. Each premium ham can be sold for tens of thousands of US dollars. Although expensive, many people are willing to spend a lot of money to enjoy this expensive delicacy. We have just discovered the best pork in the world. How do you feel? Leave your comments below to let us know.
In Australia's vast and diverse landscape, managing a large herd is a daunting task, especially when grazing large numbers of goats across vast inaccessible terrain. To manage herds of up to 50,000 goats, Australian farmers have used a seemingly expensive but very effective method, using helicopters to herd millions of goats. So, how does this method work? It's all in this video. Let's explore it now. While traditional management methods such as using dogs, horses, or vehicles have proven ineffective, especially in Australia's rugged terrain, helicopters offer a practical solution, allowing farmers to monitor and cover large areas quickly and efficiently. The first step in helicopter goat herding is to locate the herd. Pilots fly helicopters over large areas of land, identifying groups of goats from the air. Once the herd is located, the helicopter swoops down to low altitude and guides the herd to a predetermined location, such as a pen or a staging area. The noise and the presence of the helicopter encourages the goats to move in the desired direction. Using helicopters to herd goats is very efficient and saves time for farmers. In just one day, a helicopter can cover hundreds of kilometers and gather thousands of goats, which would take days or even weeks using traditional methods on the ground. Helicopter grazing also reduces the environmental impact of grazing. Traditional methods such as driving can cause soil compaction, damage vegetation, and impact local wildlife. Helicopters allow farmers to manage their goats with minimal environmental impact. This modern grazing method is also considered safe for humans and livestock. Goats are less likely to be stressed or injured than with other management methods. Additionally, farmers do not affected by rough terrain, avoiding traffic accidents or injuries during livestock gathering. While there are many benefits to helicopter goat grazing, it also comes with significant challenges. Helicopter operating costs are high, and not all farmers can afford to use this method regularly. Fuel, maintenance, and the need for skilled pilots also add to the costs. Weather conditions can also affect the effectiveness of helicopter grazing. On the other hand, the noise from the helicopter can cause stress and anxiety for other animals. Therefore, to improve, pilots and farmers need to keep a suitable distance and use techniques to guide the goats to move gently instead of forcing them to move quickly. The goats are raised for meat and milk. Free-range goats are highly valued for their meat quality and are exported to many countries, especially in the Middle East. Tens of thousands of goats are moved to staging areas where they are sorted, and those that meet the standards are sent to processing plants. Goat meat processing in Australia is carried out in dedicated plants, starting with humane slaughter of the goats, carried out under strict regulations to ensure the highest standards of animal welfare. After slaughter, the goat carcasses are sorted into different meat grades to meet the consumer market. Some processing plants also produce value-added products such as goat sausages, roasts, and minced meat. The entire process is carried out with a focus on maintaining the quality and safety of the meat, with strict quality control and inspection measures. The Australian goat meat industry is primarily export-oriented, with Australia exporting around 35,000 tons of goat meat overseas each year. Australia has long established a solid reputation for providing high-quality, safe, and sustainable meat. One of the largest markets for Australian goat meat is the Middle East, with countries such as Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates importing large quantities of Australian goat meat each year due to cultural and dietary preferences. The United States is also an emerging market for Australian goat meat, and Australian exporters have been successful in penetrating this market by providing premium products that meet strict US food safety standards.
All right, we're gonna sing, okay? Old.
Welcome to today's video. Have you ever imagined that you could talk to a bird? This is not a science fiction story, but a reality that is happening at parrot farms. How can farmers take care of, breed, and teach parrots to speak the human language? Is it easy? Let's discover this secret in today's video. Parrots have always fascinated many people with their colorful feathers and incredible intelligence. Today, parrots are the third most popular companion animals in the United States. However, not all parrots can talk. Only a few species of parrots have this ability, such as African gray parrots, macaw parrots, and Amazon parrots. Raising parrots is not only a hobby, but has become an important economic source for many families. Parrot farms are increasingly developing, helping farmers earn millions of dollars each year. The scarcity of talking parrots further increases their economic value. Parrots that have been trained and can talk can be worth up to $4,000 or more. Parrot farms need to ensure certain requirements, such as being built in quiet, safe areas away from loud noises and stressors for the birds. Depending on the size of the farm, it can be set up indoors in a dedicated bird cage or on a private plot of land. Although kept in captivity, parrots still have wild instincts, so they need a comfortable space that resembles nature. The parrot raising space needs to have enough tools such as perches, toys, swings to stimulate the parrot's mind and body. This space must also always ensure hygiene, provide enough food, and monitor the parrot's health and behavior. Parrot farms need to ensure certain requirements, such as being built in quiet, safe areas away from loud noises and stressors for the birds. Depending on the size of the farm, it can be set up indoors in a dedicated bird cage or on a private plot of land. Although kept in captivity, parrots still have wild instincts, so they need a comfortable space that resembles nature. The parrot raising space needs to have enough tools such as perches, toys, swings to stimulate the parrot's mind and body. This space must also always ensure hygiene, provide enough food, and monitor the parrot's health and behavior. One of the most important aspects of a parrot farm is breeding and producing healthy parrots. Breeding pairs will be paired separately to ensure compatibility during breeding. Some species can exhibit territorial or aggressive behavior towards certain individuals, so creating compatible pairs can improve the chances of successful mating, egg laying, and raising of young. For pairing, parrots should be given a thorough health check by a veterinarian to ensure there are no genetic or inbreeding problems. Diet is also important, including high-quality food, fresh fruits, vegetables, and occasional treats. During the breeding season, parrots need extra vitamins and minerals. Breeding parrots can suffer from a number of health problems, including respiratory infections, feather plucking, and blocked eggs in females. Regular health checks and maintaining a clean cage will help prevent and resolve these problems. After pairing, parrots are placed in a separate breeding cage. The cage should be spacious, safe, and comfortable. The nest box provides a safe space for the females to lay eggs and should be designed to be easily accessible and clean. The breeding environment should mimic the natural environment to encourage breeding behavior and provide nesting materials such as wood chips or leaves to make the nest box more attractive. When the pair shows signs of readiness, the keeper should closely monitor their behavior. A stress-free and low-disturbance environment helps parrots mate, lay eggs, and hatch successfully. In some cases, the keeper may need to use artificial incubation with proper temperature, humidity, and ventilation. When the chicks hatch, they are very fragile and need careful care. A warm, safe, and nutritious environment is essential. The chicks need a special diet and early socialization to develop positive relationships with humans. So, how do these parrots speak the human language? This process is not easy and requires a lot of time and effort. Parrots need to be bonded to their owners from a young age. The best way to encourage your parrot to talk is to choose a few short words to start with. Simple words, when spoken with enthusiasm, seem more interesting to most parrots. So, how do these parrots speak the human language? This process is not easy and requires a lot of time and effort. Parrots need to be bonded to their owners from a young age. The best way to encourage your parrot to talk is to choose a few short words to start with. Simple words, when spoken with enthusiasm, seem more interesting to most parrots. In addition, parrot owners also need to repeat words or phrases frequently so that the parrot learns to imitate. Parrots do not have a brain programmed like humans, so the process of training them to speak human language is not simple. Owners and parrot trainers need to be patient. When teaching parrots to speak, they often reward them with food when they cooperate.
Can you do a red wolf?
Teaching them to speak the human language is just like teaching children.
Can you fall down?
There is no set time to train a parrot to talk.
Did
They
that
can
hurt?
start talking after about 6 months
Can you
or
do a
1
cat?
year, or they may
How about
never
a dog?
talk
Can
at
you
all.
bark?
This will depend
And
on
shoot
the
the lasers?
relationship between the
Can you
owner
do
and the
water?
parrot, or the personality of the individual
And can you help me call
bird.
the dogs? Good.
Peekaboo! Squawk club. Come here, sweet. Want a drink? You just so good. Yeah. You're so pretty.
In recent years, large commercial farms have sprung up, producing more and more parrots to sell as pets. South Africa is now the world's leading exporter of parrots. The country has exported more than 1 million parrots of more than 120 species since 2020, mainly to countries in the Middle East and South Asia. Commercial parrot farms can raise thousands of parrots in cages for mass export. Common and endangered species such as gray parrots, military macaws, and yellow-crested cockatoos are also being bred and sold. However, large-scale parrot farming also raises ethical issues. Farms need to ensure good living conditions for parrots and comply with regulations on parrot conservation in the wild. Have you ever heard of an Asian arowana fish being auctioned for up to $300,000? Yes, this price is even higher than a Lamborghini, although it is an aquarium fish. It seems that raising aquarium fish is a hobby of humans, but surprisingly, it has become a big industry in recent years. There are even farms that only raise rare fish species for the rich. So, today, let's explore the most expensive fish farms in the world. Currently, the global ornamental fish market is valued at $8 billion, and it is expected to increase sharply in the next few years. Ornamental fish farms are built all over the world, but the leading ornamental fish export industry is Indonesia, China, and Japan. Here, there are many farms raising famous and expensive ornamental fish such as arowana, koi fish. Japan is the most famous country for its colorful koi fish, which are often raised for the purpose of beautifying and decorating the house. We often see colorful fish tanks in houses, cafes, and restaurants to create a beautiful space. The more unique the color of the fish, the higher the price. This fish is often sold for $10,000 to $50,000 depending on the species. Koi farms are mainly located in Fukushima Prefecture with a scale of up to thousands of fish. The farm also trains koi fish for breeding not only to serve the consumption needs in Japan, but also have export value. Japanese koi fish are exported to China and Southeast Asia. There are about 100 different varieties of koi fish today, but the most expensive and sought after are the kohaku, sankei, shawa, and other rare varieties. The most valuable koi fish can be sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars, especially high-quality koi fish that have won competitions, exhibitions, or auctions. Although koi fish farms can produce thousands of ornamental fish each year, it is still not enough to meet the increasing consumption demand, especially in modern times when the demand for beauty or decoration increasingly developed mind. So, what is the meaning of koi fish that makes so many people like to raise them? For the Japanese, koi fish are not only ornamental fish, they are also symbols of luck and perseverance. Especially in Chinese culture, koi fish also symbolize success and constant effort. Also, due to tradition, the demand for quality koi fish is very large, especially among wealthy collectors, thereby contributing to the reputation and high price of this fish. In addition to koi fish, another fish species that is only for the rich is arowana fish. This is one of the ornamental fish species that is strongly sought after all over the world. The largest arowana fish farms today are built in Indonesia and Singapore due to the favorable climate and environment, partly because this fish species originated in Southeast Asia. Arowana farms often use advanced breeding technologies to optimize their farming. They can be raised in large outdoor ponds that simulate the natural environment for the arowana to thrive. Farmers also raise arowanas to breed in the wild. However, after the eggs are incubated and hatched into fry, the fry need to be raised in an aquarium environment to increase their survival rate. During this period, many people mistakenly believe that arowanas reproduce by mouth, but in fact, they only incubate the eggs in their mouths, and the incubation stage is performed by the male arowana. Today, the arowana has become part of the Asian luxury goods market, contributing to the economies of many countries. Wealthy collectors are willing to pay large sums for rare and unique arowana individuals, making the trade extremely profitable. Especially in the Chinese market, most wealthy families keep a few arowanas in their homes, believing that they bring good luck and prosperity. The arowana industry has created jobs and economic stability for hundreds of thousands of people in Asia. In addition, related industries such as aquarium production and fish food production have also benefited from the popularity of arowanas. In recent years, ornamental fish farms have been expanding in many areas of the world. With its increasing value, it can become a strong export industry for many countries in the world. Asia in developing efficient livestock systems. Sugar is a sweet condiment that most of us are crazy about, right? But did you know that besides white and brown sugar, there is another type of sugar that is much friendlier to your health? Palm sugar. So, have you ever wondered how Thai farmers can produce tons of natural sugar from this tree? Let's explore this complicated and sometimes risky profession of growing and harvesting palm sugar. The palm tree is a very special tree, but in Thailand, you can find them in almost every rural area. Palm trees can grow on all types of soil, from barren land, flooded land, to saline land. What an easygoing tree, right? To make the most of natural resources, farmers plant palm trees in between rice fields. With deep roots, palm trees grow healthily without affecting the rice. Although it is not picky about soil, growing palm trees and waiting for harvest is also a difficult process. It takes about 12 to 15 years for the palm trees to mature and be able to be harvested. However, all the waiting is worth it, because the result is sweet drops of sap and a cool gift from nature. So, how to get drops of palm sap to process into sugar? This process is really not simple. First, farmers have to climb towering palm trees and skillfully scrape the flower clusters to collect the sap. And you know, this job is very dangerous. Farmers have to climb primitive ladders up to 20 meters high. Just looking at it makes you dizzy, right? They must have been doing this job for decades to be able to be so proficient. But even with experience, this job is still very dangerous. Many farmers have been injured while climbing to the top of the tree to harvest palm sap. Nowadays, palm sap harvesting is always done manually like this. The palm sugar production season usually lasts from January to May, or about 5 months a year, sometimes depending on the weather. First, the farmers will choose the flower clusters at the right time to harvest. At this point, their experience plays a very important role. Next is an extremely important step: massage to stimulate the tree to secrete sap. Before starting, cut off all the excess around the flower cluster. The massage method will also be different for male and female flower clusters. Farmers will apply all the massage techniques for about 7 days, once a day in the afternoon or evening to stimulate the tree to secrete sap. After about 7 days of massaging the palm flower cluster, let's start the journey to collect sweet drops of nectar. Before that, they will soak the palm flower in water for 1 day, then cut across the flower bud or flower cluster stem. Then, they will hang bamboo tubes next to the tree trunk to collect the fresh sap that flows out. Every day, farmers will cut twice in the morning and evening, because after cutting, the sap only flows for about 8 to 10 hours and then stops. The sap of the palm tree is very easy to sour, so farmers have to find a better way to preserve it. The tube to collect fresh sap must be bamboo tubes, processed by burning on fire. In addition, they will use the bark and core of the black star tree or sal tree, cut into small pieces and put at the bottom of the bamboo tube. With this method, fresh palm sap can be kept for about 10 hours until the farmer harvests it. After harvesting, fresh palm sap will be processed within 1 to 2 days. First, they pour fresh palm sap into large, wide-mouthed pans and boil it over fire until it boils. But before that, remember to filter this sap with a tool to remove dirt and impurities. The process of boiling palm sugar requires constant stirring until the sugar turns dark, thick, and sticky. It will take about 2 to 3 hours to do it, so be really patient. When the sugar has gradually condensed and darkened, they will quickly remove the pan from the stove, using a specialized tool to stir continuously. As a result, they will get a mixture of palm sugar that is golden brown, smooth, and delicious. Now, just wait for the sugar to cool and quickly pour it into the prepared mold, and the unique palm sugar blocks are born. To get 2.5 kilograms of palm sugar, you will need about 20 liters of fresh palm sap. If you are gradually interested in this type of palm sugar, there is a secret you need to know. Palm sugar has a lower glycemic index than regular sugar, helping to limit high blood sugar levels. In addition, it also contains many vitamins and minerals, is good for health, and suitable for many dishes. It can be seen that not only has a pleasant sweet taste, palm sugar also brings great benefits to the body. You might think these little fish are nothing special, but don't underestimate them. Who would have thought that these little fish could turn a poor farmer family into a millionaire? Sounds unbelievable, right? Then get ready for a turnaround. Today, we will explore the story of the cartilage loach, a small fish that can help Vietnamese farmers change their lives. What is their secret? Let's find out in this video. Cartilage loach. Just hearing the name sounds strange, right? This is a small catfish weighing only about 30 to 40 grams each, but its strength is not small. Did you know that while most other fish need careful care in an artificial environment, cartilage loaches seem to be much more comfortable? With soft bones. Yes, you heard right, soft bones. They are not only easy to raise, but also grow quickly and have extremely high nutritional value. You will be surprised to know that after just a few months of care, cartilage loach can bring huge profits to farmers. But why cartilage loach? Because they are extremely easy to raise, grow quickly, and most importantly, have a very strong consumer market. So, what has made this fish species a highlight in the Vietnamese aquaculture industry? Cartilage loach. Just hearing the name sounds strange, right? This is a small catfish weighing only about 30 to 40 grams each, but its strength is not small. Did you know that while most other fish need careful care in an artificial environment, cartilage loaches seem to be much more comfortable? With soft bones. Yes, you heard right, soft bones. They are not only easy to raise, but also grow quickly and have extremely high nutritional value. You will be surprised to know that after just a few months of care, cartilage loach can bring huge profits to farmers. But why cartilage loach? Because they are extremely easy to raise, grow quickly, and most importantly, have a very strong consumer market. So, what has made this fish species a highlight in the Vietnamese aquaculture industry? Do you think that raising cartilage loach fish will require a huge investment to be successful? But in fact, the process of raising cartilage loach fish is simpler than you think. Just master some basic steps and you can succeed. Let's take a look at each step in the process of raising cartilage loach fish right below. First, choosing a farming location is very important, because if the environment is not suitable, the cartilage loach fish will not grow well. The pond needs to have a minimum area of 5 to 10 meters squared for easy management and care. The ideal water level in the pond is from 0.8 to 1 meter. If the water level is too shallow or too deep, the fish will have difficulty growing stably. The cartilage loach is suitable for water with a pH of 6.5 to 8.5 and a temperature of 27 to 32 degrees Celsius. The water in the pond must always be clean, without too much mud or waste. A little tip from farmers is to plant water hyacinth to create shade for the fish and help stabilize the temperature in the summer. When choosing cartilage loach breeds, they choose healthy fish without signs of disease and with bright colors. The fish must be at least 3 centimeters long. The ideal stocking density is 40 to 60 fish per meter squared, so that the fish have enough space to grow without being stressed. It's time to release the fish, but don't rush to throw the fish into the pond without preparation. Releasing the fish also requires care and proper technique. You must be wondering, are cartilage loaches easy to raise? The answer is yes, but they also need you to take care of them properly so that they grow quickly and healthily. When choosing cartilage loach breeds, they choose healthy fish without signs of disease and with bright colors. The fish must be at least 3 centimeters long. The ideal stocking density is 40 to 60 fish per meter squared, so that the fish have enough space to grow without being stressed. It's time to release the fish, but don't rush to throw the fish into the pond without preparation. Releasing the fish also requires care and proper technique. You must be wondering, are cartilage loaches easy to raise? The answer is yes, but they also need you to take care of them properly so that they grow quickly and healthily. Unlike other fish species, cartilage loach is a lazy species. Most of them do not move much, so when feeding, the breeder will have to spread the food evenly throughout the pond. People feed the fish with industrial food or byproducts in agricultural production such as dried beans, rice bran, silkworm pupa, miscellaneous fish, land snails, with a protein content of 30 to 50%. Each feeding, the amount of food must reach 5 to 8% of the weight of the cartilage loach in the tank. In particular, this fish eats quite little, so it will need to be fed 2 to 4 times per day. Although easy to raise, they can still get sick if the environment is not clean. Therefore, breeders need to closely monitor their development. If they see fish not eating, hovering near the surface, or otherwise acting unusually, they need to act quickly to treat the problem. Regular water changes, 7 to 10 days, and keeping the water clean are the best ways to prevent disease. If well managed and cared for, after about 4 to 5 months, these fish will be ready to harvest. According to the experience of fish farmers, they do not raise fish for too long because the cartilage ratio will decrease. Farmers often harvest all the fish in the pond or a part, depending on market demand. When harvesting, the water in the pond will be drained. With cartilage loach, harvesting is quite simple, but it is necessary to ensure that the fish are raised in a healthy and high-quality condition to achieve the best value. Before starting to raise cartilage loaches, the lives of many Vietnamese farmers were quite difficult because they tried many models but did not achieve results. But since applying the cartilage loach farming model, they not only have a stable source of income, but also have the opportunity to change their lives. The cartilage loach farming industry in Vietnam has the potential to develop strongly and sustainably, especially when demand is increasing. This is a promising direction for Vietnam's agriculture in the future. Before starting to raise cartilage loaches, the lives of many Vietnamese farmers were quite difficult because they tried many models but did not achieve results. But since applying the cartilage loach farming model, they not only have a stable source of income, but also have the opportunity to change their lives. The cartilage loach farming industry in Vietnam has the potential to develop strongly and sustainably, especially when demand is increasing. This is a promising direction for Vietnam's agriculture in the future.